Hey guys, it's Pauline here, and welcome to the very first episode of Passionate Living with Phenie and Poh. So, my co host, as I said, Pauline from Becoming Pauline, and my co host is.
Phenie.
Yes!
Yes.
Phenie Charles.
Oh, Phenie Charles. You want me to go further? Okay, yes. Phenie Charles here, hailing from the United States, Maryland, Waldorf, Maryland.
Yes, and I'm in Australia, and if you can see behind me, it's still pretty dark. So, yeah, it's really, really early in the morning. But yeah, I'm really excited about today's conversation being our first episode, and it's called What Does Passionate Living Mean? But before we get on to that, I really want to do a bit of reminiscing with Phenie about how this all began. Phenie, do you remember back last year in August where we were in the same Facebook group and you were on my fan page, I was on your fan page, and I remember thinking to myself, this girl's got spunk. She's talking about dreams. She's talking about bigger things in life. And being bloggers and online entrepreneurs, what we tend to see on a lot of fan pages is a lot of technical stuff. But she and I were talking about dreams and things that we love and we're excited about. But I thought, I don't know. Yeah, she seems like a great person. But I think with my programming and stuff, I thought she's like on the other side of the world. She's of a different culture. Maybe we wouldn't hit it off at all. So interested to hear what were your impressions?
Okay, everything that you wrote. Okay, we were in the same Facebook group, and yes, we were running to each other. We were seeing the things that we were writing and talking about. And when I came across your material, my attitude was, wow, she's actually talking about things that actually stokes me. She's actually writing things that are deep, they're introspective, and being a self-development, personal development junkie, everything that you wrote just resonated with me. And in turn, I just felt compelled to respond to you how I really felt. So I remember you, I think what was the first comment? There's so many comments, so many posts that you put out that was riveting. I'm trying to remember here. I think it was, I'm a little fuzzy. You may have to help me out with this a little bit. I remember it was some post. What was the post about? All I remember was the gist of it was you had a post. You know what? For the life of me, I can't even remember the post. All I remember is that my response to you, and then you responded back. It was something along the lines of people and how um, it really grates my nerves how you meet people. Let's just switch it around. Hopefully, this will jog your memory with the post that you put up because you had so many great posts. I remember saying something along the lines of it's like a flower and a plant. Is this ringing a bell, Annie, about how
Oh, it's the thing about love and petals being plucked, like people
that's it?
wanting to change people or something like that.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know.
And do you remember I had said something? What gets me irritated or upset is that people see a beautiful flower and then they feel that they have to pluck it. And I prefer the plant because at least it'll keep its environment so that it can continue to bloom through each season. And people feel like just because they see something that's beautiful, they have to covet it or take it as their own. And then when they do so, when they try to covet it or own it, they destroy it. That I believe is when our relationship just took off. Do you remember that?
Yeah, absolutely I do. I was like, who's this deep person that's writing War and Peace on my on my post? That's what I was thinking. I was intrigued, and I think after that, we started talking on and off on Facebook, and then
Yep.
eventually led to Viber. And yeah,
Yep.
the intriguing thing is we found out we're virtually leading parallel lives. I know
Yep.
that's going to sound really odd to people, but
Yes.
we're literally leading parallel lives. And
Yeah, we are.
um, yeah, this has kind of brought us to this point. And God, I can't get over the fact that we're on opposite sides of the world. And
Mm-hmm.
we're from such, like, I'm Asian Australian, you're Caribbean,
American.
American. And
Mm-hmm.
it just goes to show that it doesn't matter what your background is. This thing about the soul and being and what gets you excited, there's a commonality universally, don't you reckon?
Yes, I agree fully, wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly.
All
Hmm.
right. So now, on to our exciting topic. What does passionate living mean? And for me, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say, Phenie, passionate living is about engaging in the things that you love and not just, on the weekends or every so often as you toil away at a 9 to 5 job or something else. It's living that passion and joy and what you love in as many moments of your life as possible. And unfortunately, a lot of people, it doesn't happen. And I would say for me, it didn't happen for like a long time when I was in my corporate job. And what tends to happen is passion, dreams, things that I love gets pushed to the side. And yeah, I'd love to hear what you think about passionate living, Phenie, and how long did it take you to get to the point where you were doing it?
I'm gonna say it took eons. I'm gonna say it took eons. I remember growing up, I liked the arts. I liked singing. I liked playing the piano. I was one of those kids that I didn't go outside and play a lot. So I read a lot. I played the piano. I sang. I remember doing those things and they kind of like fed my soul. I remember at one point in my life, I was excelling in the arts and I was mediocre in school. And then as time went on, I turned off the arts. And then in academia, I excelled. And then I came to a point where I mixed the two and I was excelling in both because I had this idea that anything that I was passionate about wasn't it wasn't the right path to go because it wouldn't take care of you in the long run. It wouldn't take care of you in the long run. It was something that was frivolous or something extra. Now, I've gotten to the point in my life now where I realize that if I don't do something that's passionate, something that's of the arts, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter basically what it is. Some people have a calling for writing, some people have a calling for dancing, some people have a calling for teaching. I realized that if I didn't do something passionate, I felt dead. And when I say dead, deader than dead, I just really felt dead. And I'm at the point now, I believe passionate living is engaging in things that just make you feel alive every day. You know how many days we go about and we don't do something that makes us feel alive? We feel like robots. I think we're like the walking dead at some point because it's about, okay, wake up, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to do my job and come home and just get paid and get up and go to my job. And then some of us, we work so hard during the week, we just figure, okay, Friday come, Saturday come, Sunday come, let me go to the club and drink and just dance, and that's the end of that. But it's not something that you are engaging in that nourishes your soul. I believe that we all have a cellular print, and that cellular print is what engages what you want to engage in. That makes you feel alive. I believe passion is a very strong word, because some people think passion is always about passion is associated with love or with romance, and passion can be fueled through anything. You can be passionately angry, you can be passionately insane, you can be passionately stupid, you can be passionate, you can run your passion through anything. But passionate living is, as you said, engaging things that make you come alive, that make you feel good, that make you feel happy. That's what passionate living is. And did I say engaging in it every day? Yes, engaging in it every day. Even if it's 5 minutes every day.
Well, you got that right, girl. And yes, I would prefer no passionate insanity and craziness. I think we've had enough of that in our lifetime, though. We don't want any more of that. We'll stick to passionate living through the stuff that feels awesome and great.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it's a tricky one. I mean, it's easy to say, but I know for a lot of people, including myself, because with my programming, my background, I tend to be quite a workaholic. And I recently came out of a hiatus, an online hiatus, because I was unpassionately living. Like, I left the 9 to 5 job to go and do business online, become a blogger, online entrepreneur. And what happened? I was just busy following what other people were doing, because that's just what they were doing. And apparently those techniques, tools, strategies, that's the key to success. That's the key to success. So I thought, okay, I better follow them. And I thought, if I just work hard at it for, years, work, somehow I'll have that time for passionate living. I'll have that time to engage in the stuff that I love. And you know what? That doesn't work.
Nope.
You know why it doesn't work? Because your body starts telling you it doesn't work if you start getting aches and pains, and your soul tells you it doesn't work because you think it sucks. There's no other way to put it, but you think it bloody sucks. So I just thought, nah, I can't do this anymore. Sorry, I can't be a phony, and I can't pretend to be what I'm not. And not engaging in stuff that I love and talking about things that I love online, that's being a phony, and that's not being authentic. And as you and I said, we were authentically being inauthentic or something like that. Like, we thought this was what you were meant to do, but
yes.
No, man, if it sucks, that's just not the thing for you. You got to listen to your gut, and your gut wants joy. It wants fulfillment. It wants the things that really resonate. And for me, the reason why I even got into blogging to begin with was because I love fashion, and in the future I see myself starting an online fashion marketplace, and this was the perfect platform. And yes, of course, I love travel, and I love yakking about personal growth and things like that. Hence, here we are now. So yeah, no, I'm not much for the sucky stuff anymore. How about your experience, Phenie?
No, I'm not into the sucky stuff anymore. I basically was living a life, working, going. I was a returning student, and I was thinking, okay, we're gonna do a whole shift, as far as what I wanted to do out of life. And so many things were thrown at me to derail me to this path. It just got overbearing. I was married at the time. I was juggling a lot of things. I was juggling a family. I was juggling going to school. I was juggling working. I was doing those things, and it did not feel right. It did not feel right. I just felt, I don't know, I was doing things, and I was only doing things because I knew that in order to get acceptance from everybody else, I just had to be doing what everybody else was doing. And it got to a point where I just didn't feel good. Then on top of it, my relationship was morphing, and I like to say it's transforming because we're good friends, but I was married and I was going through a divorce. And when I went, people were just bombarding me. People were just telling me everything of what I should do and how I should be. You should do this in the event of your divorce. You should go into this department or go into this branch of this profession, or you should consider this profession, or you should. I was getting a lot of that. And also when I just got tired. I was taking certain classes and I had to do some extra studying. And I didn't feel like doing it. I'm like, look, I passed that already. I did that. I don't want to go back and rehash that. I don't want to go back and relearn anything in order to do this class because I wasn't going full time. So you're juggling all these other things and you're trying to pluck away at school. And it's like, okay, you took that class a few semesters ago. I don't feel like studying that stuff I just didn't have the fight in me. Why? Because I knew at the end of the day or at the end of the journey, I was going to hit a brick wall. And you know what my heart really said? It said, really, I would like to have my own business where what I have or the experiences that I've been through and the lessons that I've learned and the things that I have triumphed in, I would like to learn how to monetize that. I would like to have a presence online. And that really is what I wanted to do. But I didn't follow that path. I just kept going to school, kept working, kept juggling the family. And I'm like, everybody else does that. So just continue to do that. And then it got to a point where um, that I hit rock bottom and I had to chuck everything. I had to say, okay, stop, because this is not me. It was a lot of upheaval, but I realized that I had to follow. You say it all the time, Poh. You always talk about a pinch. I was getting pinched. I was getting plucked. I was getting kicked. I was getting stomped. I was getting manhandled. I was getting everything. And it was like, you're living a lie. I didn't know later on that you can live so many different levels of a lie. As you've said earlier, we were authentic in our inauthenticity. It's so many levels, so many layers, so many levels. But at the end of the day, I wanted an online presence, entrepreneurial presence. I wanted to help people. I wanted to help myself and also help people in helping myself. And that is what led me to here. That's what led me to here.
You got that right, because yeah, you pointed it out. One of our biggest passions and things that you and I love, and that's how I think it was the sealer between you and I getting together, was having that common desire to make a difference and helping other people make their dreams come true. And the bonus is doing it the fun way, doing it the passionate way, doing it the interesting way. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I definitely don't think it's always an easy ride to follow that dream life, which is what I would put passionate living under. It's definitely not easy because you're going to have to face a lot of, you got to face a lot about yourself. and peel layers of the onion of issues, especially a lot of past issues. But I'm telling you, if you can get yourself to be a better version of yourself, it's definitely worth it. Yes, I know there's going to be a lot of tears, but it's definitely worth it. And look, I mean, you don't have to change your whole life and go pursue another career if that just does not seem feasible right now. But I would just say, even if people, I don't know, even for us, how we spoke about every day, finding something to nourish ourselves in some way. For example, going for a massage, going for a walk, doing a facial, just finding something that's saying, I count, I matter. So it doesn't really matter about the size in which you do something. And for me, I think that was a struggle for a long time, because being, a former workaholic, the last thing you're thinking about is pampering yourself. All you're busy thinking about is, I got to get the job done. I got to get the results. That's all that matters. But I guess what I didn't realize at the time is, by not nourishing myself, that in turn affects results and business, because energetically, what you're putting out there is, I'm somebody that doesn't nourish themselves, and then you're going to bring or attract people that are the same, and it's going to be more and more of that downward spiral. So I'm really happy we got to this point, Phenie, where we're making it a priority to engage in our passions, not only in our online blogs and business, but, in our day-to-day life too. I mean, we've had so many conversations about it that it's crazy. But I know I'm digressing a bit, but yeah, it makes me think a lot about the past and being that person that went to the job. And I don't know, I'm just amazed at how readily people, including, me before, how we readily just accept mediocre. Like, I remember just catching the bus at the same time at that same stop in Sydney in Maryland, and just doing that day after day after day. And then, was I excited? Was I passionate? Was I eager? Yeah, no, not really. It's just, and the thing is, if people do eventually go out and go after their dreams, just remember, don't get into the trap of bringing in those habitual things. Like, gotta work hard, I gotta work like crazy, I gotta follow what everyone else is doing. I mean, how about following yourself? Because who's gonna be an expert on you but you? Other people are gonna say you're not gonna be a success if you don't follow what we say, but what would they know about you? Are they accessing your internal guidance system? I don't think so. So, what are your thoughts, Phenie?
How are we gonna say that? How can we say that to the people? You're supposed to follow. You're supposed to do what you're told. If you don't listen, how do you not get things accomplished? You got to listen to people who have what you want. So, I mean, how does that fit into that? How does that fit into that? It's kind of like a fine line that you have to walk, because you are to listen to people who have what you want or you want to acquire, but there has to be an understanding that how you acquire it, you may get the end results, but your path there will be slightly different, or you have to follow your GPS along with the directions or the stuff they give you. If someone says to you, and this is blasphemy, that I know that, we talk amongst ourselves all the time, it's blasphemy, because someone can say, well, just do what I do as I say, and you'll get there. I believe that some part of us whatever is attracted to and what the person is saying is the path to follow. Suppose somebody says, okay, I'm giving you this map to get to the end of the desert, but you're going to pass through a swamp, you're going to pass through a forest, you're going to pass through later on a jungle, and beyond the desert is your destination. And suppose as you have this map, something gives you, you're following, and yes, you got to go through the forest, and yes, you got to go through the swamp. And I think I mixed up the order, but I don't care. We know where I'm going with this story. And as you're passing and you're moving along, your gut feeling says, go this path around what is here on the map. And you're like, well, no, the map physically says this. This person physically told me that, but your gut is screaming. What do? I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, I got to follow my gut. I understand that you have to pick up technical skill. You have to pick up training. You have to pick up the know-hows of how to do things, but it has to be swallowed with a dose of what? Of your GPS vitamins. I'm here making up stuff. Your GPS vitamins in order to get there. I believe that's what, you know, you and I were struggling with. We were just doing, but there wasn't any heart in it. There wasn't any passion in it. And then we just had this epiphany that we have to do the same things that other people are doing, but we have to do it in our kind of way. Yeah, when you get in the industry of the business, they tell you, and that's just entrepreneurship in general, that you have mentors, you follow your mentors. Yes, I believe you follow your mentors, but I also believe it's your mentor's duty and job to tell you, hey, this is the way how I got here. I'm looking for you to, I'll give you the basics of what's worked for me. I'm looking for you to take the basic, run with it, morph it into what resonates with you, and get there. But then again, you also have people who want to be told what to do every step of the way. And I believe life is changing to the point that that does not work anymore. You have to infuse your passionate essence into what you're doing in order for it to come across. Probably 10, 15 years ago, you could have just followed everything to the T and you would churn out results. But now I think since people are so bombarded with so much stuff, so much energy, so much, like I said, stuff, that you have to do things. What resonates with you is the key. What resonates with you is the key. You got to maybe try a little bit of everything, but at the end of the day is what resonates with you. You have to go with that along with the quote unquote instructions or along with the map. That's basically how I feel now. And how long did it take me to get here? It took a minute. It took a minute. It took a minute.
I know. And to be honest with you, I don't think, the thing is, yeah, I went through the personal development junkie phase too. That was hammered into us that you follow the people that have what you want and have been where you are. But the thing is, I don't think I fully paid attention to the next bit where they said, but ultimately you listen to yourself. You listen to yourself. I think people kind of just, well, I must have as well. You kind of just forgot about that crucial element to it. I mean, of course, I mean, if you're getting into business for the first time, you're not going to exactly know what you're doing. And, you know, it is important to seek advice from the people that have been there, done it, doing it. But I don't know, I guess this must be a heavily programmed thing where we learn that we must follow instructions and rules to the absolute T. And if you deviate from that, then bad things will happen.
You're a loser.
Exactly, but then I'm just saying, these rules, just doing what everyone else doing. Hey, if everyone else was following their dreams and doing powerful stuff, I'll follow you any day of the year. But if you're kind of just conforming for the sake of conforming and it's not even enjoyable, then sorry, I'm breaking out. I'm breaking the rules. And yeah, based on my astrology, I'm meant to be well, when I was born, I was already an outlaw. So I guess I'm just fulfilling my destiny of being an outlaw.
I
But
guess
you know
I'm in that
what,
lot.
Benny, this is something that takes a long time and a lot of courage to get to that point where you're like, screw it, I'm gonna do what resonates with my heart and
Yep.
what burns, what's passionate, what's enjoyable. That
Yep.
takes a lot of practice, and heck, I'm very grateful I have you around because
Here.
it helps to have allies as well
Same
on
here.
this journey.
We wouldn't
It's
be here. We would not be here if we didn't run into each other like this. Oh my goodness. Ooh, what do you remember in the very beginning? Like how you were living business wise before we met up? I mean, energetically wise. What do you remember?
mm, well, when we first met, that was around the time where I started the journey. You started a little while before me, but I was quite eager beaver, but I was absorbing a lot of information and I was doing a lot,
Yeah.
like to the
Mm-hmm.
point where I think I was working, I don't know, 12 plus hours every day. I'm not talking just Monday to Friday, every day.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, so I was kind of enjoying what I was doing because it was new. Because anything new and shiny is going to be interesting. But I mean, how sustainable is that to work that many hours? It's just not sustainable. No. And I was getting signs already because yeah, my elbow was starting to ache quite a lot, and I couldn't even turn around and touch my back. That's how much it was starting to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how about you? Before we met.
Um, I when I first started in the when I first started in the online industry, oh, how did it work? At the time, I was working a job where it was 12 hours a day, and when I'd come home, you work in your part. It was like part time, and um, I just felt too tired physically, and then I felt lost. It was like, okay, I have these things to do. I have these things itemized, but I felt alone. But I kept doing things. I kept like, making videos. I kept blogging. Was my heart really in it? No, not at that point. But when I look back, I realized I was waxing on, waxing off. I've come to realize we're going to be doing plenty waxing on, waxing off until we just dead. That's just how I look at it. We're gonna be waxing on, waxing off because you get to so many different levels. Um, I basically was following people that didn't resonate with me. Well, no, you have bits and pieces that resonated with me. And I took those bits and pieces and I came to understand that you have to piecemeal things. And as I started to piecemeal things, I believe that that was the breadcrumbs that led me to you and the Facebook group that you invited me into. And then that's when the workhorse or workaholic behavior began for online in that group. Now, normally I'm a workaholic offline. I came back and I'm a perfectionist and I can be very, people who know me can say, oh my goodness, you just are such a stickler for details, details, details. But my attitude is if my name is on it, I need to put out something that when I look at it, I'm like, okay, everybody may not have liked it, but I know it was a job well done. I'm satisfied with what I did. And I just wasn't feeling that. I understand in the beginning when you need training wheels, you need to creep before you can walk, or and that's just life. And I believe that's what I was doing before, but none of it felt good. Not a one bit. None of it felt good. I didn't like any of it. And then do you remember, like, I would get comments and stuff like, are you having fun? Are you having a good time? And I was just stumped. I was like, Huh? You can see I'm not having fun.
What is fun? You're not meant to have fun in business. You're not meant to have fun, period.
You know? And I'm like, you're not supposed to have fun. You're just supposed to churn out work. You're supposed to just do what you're told and churn. And miraculously, the people will come in droves and listen to your story. And, you know, we'll just all have a good time. And we'll just be successful entrepreneurs. No, it was not. And I couldn't hide it anymore. That's not a good thing if somebody's asking you and saying, are you really having a good time? Because what you're doing doesn't look appetizing. It doesn't look appealing. It doesn't look, what are you doing? And then your feelings get hurt. And then you go back and you churn some more. That's just the way you were trained. So, aren't you glad we just got out of that? Oh my goodness.
Yes, I'm super glad because, yeah, I can't go back to that life of just churning out work and just not liking what it is that we're doing. I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, we have such limited time on this planet. We may as well fill it with the stuff that we do enjoy. Mm-hmm. So, Phenie, my friend, we are at that time of wrapping up. Mm-hmm. It's been fun, our first episode. Mm-hmm. Very excited. So, guys out there, connect with us. We're all about passions. And I mean, I just imagine, because if someone said to me this before, I would be curious. Engaging and sharing and communicating the things that you love and being able to monetize on that. If that's certainly something that appeals to you and you want to know more about, certainly get in touch with either myself or Phenie. My blog is www.becomingpolin.com. And Phenie, what's your website?
www.snatchingmydreamsback.com.
Cool bananas. And the other thing that we noticed about each other as we conclude was our individual taglines. Mm-hmm. Mine is onwards, upwards, and forwards, dreamers. Mm-hmm. And Phenie's one, oh, I love Phenie's one.
I endeavor to snatch my dreams back and live it.
Mm-hmm. And she says peace sometimes too at the end.
Yes, I do say peace sometimes.
Okay, guys, signing out now. Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Phenie.